All right, welcome back. Now, it's time to have a conversation about the rich heritage of Ever Foods. Now, I've been joined by three beautiful ladies in the studio this morning, and I can't wait to introduce them to you and get into the conversation about food. If you see what is in front of us here, if you see the spread, you can't believe it. We have Yoram Ati, who is an HR officer here with us at City TV. Also, Edina Bright Davis, the CEO of Hyssop Foods. And then we have Selassie Jikuno. She's a management consultant and a co-founder of JSET Consulting. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
You're all welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
good to have you here. All of you looking very lovely.
Thank you.
Resplendent. Now, let's get right into the conversation about foods. And let me start with Edina. So, give us a little sense of the spread of all the different kinds of dishes that are, if you can think of what the names that come off the top of your head, Ever Foods.
Okay, Ever Foods. You're doing very well.
Ever.
Ever.
Nu-du-du. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we've done today is we have everything from breakfast to snacks to drinks to should we call it king's food?
Okay.
You know, we
Royal
have all
meals.
our royal meals and our delicacies.
Okay.
Yes. And so, for example, we have here, so we have some of these dishes that maybe are lost on this generation, I
Okay.
should say.
Okay.
So, for example, for breakfast, for example, we have here kokli jogbo.
Kokli jogbo.
Kokli jogbo,
Okay.
yes. So it's not
Wow.
your traditional cocoa or
Okay.
whatever. So it's a porridge made out of cornmeal.
Okay.
But it's the meal is passed through. It goes through a certain process. Make them into little balls. Boil your water. Put it in, and it's a delicacy in our parts of the world. But like
Okay.
I said, it's lost on this generation. So you just find it in very few places. And then we've got the fresh fish soup.
Okay.
And it's not tilapia soup because everybody's used to tilapia soup.
Okay.
So we decided to make something different. So we've made fresh fish soup with blulu.
Blolo.
Blulu, and that's catfish.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the full name?
It's catfish, right? Ladies?
Yes, that's
It is
catfish.
catfish.
Blolo
yes.
is
Blulu.
Dachi.
Blulu.
Dachi.
Dechi.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So we made blulu instead of, you know, the usual
Yeah, yeah.
tilapia soup. We have ademe. So some people call it ayoyo. I think it's, yeah, but we make
okay.
it a little bit,
Different.
you know, different.
How different?
So different because we use a dry fish, mainly dry fish. We don't use meats actually. It's normally dry fish for our deme. And I'll let Yoram talk about the rest.
Yes. Iran, what do we
Okay,
have in front
so
of you here?
over here we have Fatri Dachi.
Okay.
They're very
Fatri
famous. Fatri Dachi.
Fatri Dechi.
Yes. And then with Fatri Dachi, we have one with the red oil.
Okay.
And then one without the red oil. So we decided to do the red without the red oil.
Okay.
Because the red oil is so common.
Yeah.
So in here we have the dry fish. We have herrings.
Okay.
We have salmon. We have what we call liji.
Liji.
Yes.
What's liji?
Liji. What's the name in English? You have no
Yeah,
idea.
so
Anyway.
it's liji everywhere.
There's liji everywhere. Okay, all right.
Yes. So this is without red oil.
Okay.
And look, David, you should try this.
Oh, I will.
Yes.
Oh,
we
trust
have
me.
akle there.
Okay.
There's amokle. Yes.
Which one is it?
Yes.
Bake.
Yes. Bake. The
Bake,
thing is,
bake.
yes. Let's get this right.
Yes, let's get it right. What
We
do we need
have
to get
people
right?
say akpele, and when they say akpele, what they mean is the one made of dry corn.
Okay.
But in actual fact, when you say akpele is this banku.
Okay.
The normal banku.
The
we
normal
say.
banku is
exactly.
akpele.
When you say ewakpele,
Yeah.
ewakpele is the one you call akpele.
Oh.
You see,
I
and then we have what we call awadami.
And what them?
Yes, awadami is comes with corn cassava dough,
Okay.
and then the dry powdered corn. That's how it's made. So because we have so many things on the table,
Yeah.
so we decided to do amokla which is akpele, amokpele,
Okay.
which is akpele. So to go with fatiridachi.
Okay.
Yes. And then you can do this with the ademe as well. Yes. Then fatiridachi could go with the, how do you call it? The yakaike.
Okay.
And then abolo.
I see.
Exactly. The same way you can do abolo and yakaike with amadachi. This ademe, right? Okay. You can do that with amadachi.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, well, I'm sure we'll come back here. So let's continue there. I wanted to ask something about the abolo and the yakayake, but we'll come to that. Yes, go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is fatiridachi for you. You should all try this.
And essentially, what is it made of?
Fatiridachi is made of, it's just the okro soup.
Is it okra?
We have okro. This time we didn't use the leaves, what we call boma,
Okay.
the green leaves.
Yes.
We decided not to do. We wanted to do the very local
Okay.
okro soup.
Okay.
Yes, we have the boibese. When we say boibese, what we mean is the green pepper,
Okay.
bakoshito.
Okay.
Yes, we have our onions, we have our spices, and then we have one very good tasty fish in there called bovilolo. Bovilolo kalami.
Bovilolo
Kalami, yes. I don't know how that's called in English.
It's bovilolo
It's
kalami.
bovilolo, right?
In English, it's also
Bovilolo
Exactly,
kalami
yes.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So it passes through some process
Okay.
to get an end result. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes,
What else do we have?
Yes, so we have nagoti jogbo. Goti
Nagoti jogbo.
jogbo.
So
Jogbo is porridge.
okay.
Nagoti is sweet potato.
Oh.
Yes, so we have the yam porridge.
Yeah.
Like
Like the way we have
potom.
potom poto.
Exactly. We have
Yeah.
mankeni porridge.
Yeah.
Yes. So for when you come to the Volta region, what we serve you with is nagoti jogbo. It passes through a process, very simple. We don't use so many things in doing this. We have our sweet potato, we chop
Yeah.
that into pieces, we wash it, you put it on fire, you add water to get it soft. Then you add your onions, you add your green pepper, that's boibese, bakoshito.
Boy, basi.
When it's well cooked, you bring it out, you grind it, then you pour it back onto the sweet potato. You give it some time, you add your salt, you add your red oil, and you're good to go. Very simple and very tasty.
I think a week ago we had a lady come on the set and explain to us about what I think this is what we refer to as Impotompoto. But Impotompoto is actually not the correct name for it, even where we come from.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Impihu. That's the correct name. Here Impotompoto is it's almost like a derived. It's like it looks like maybe a yapoto.
Yep.
So it's not, Yeah. So, but this is beautiful. I think we use cocoyam in up in the Kwapem Hills.
Okay.
Yeah, where I proudly come from.
And I think
But
the
it's not
guys
our
use the
day-to-day.
yam, right?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
and one important thing we
But
should
I
all
love the sweet potato idea.
Yes,
Ah,
and one important thing we should all notice with this, you don't need your fish, your meat, no. Because once you add the meat and then the fish, it loses its original
Yeah.
taste. The sweet potato would lose its original taste.
Yeah.
So it's just raw like this.
Okay.
And it's
All right.
good.
Beautiful. So,
Yeah.
so this food in English will be referred to it as a sweet potato pottage. Okay, which is actually different from a porridge. All right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
beautiful. I need to try that. All right. What else do we have here?
Okay, so I'll take over from here.
Yes, Celeste.
We have the royal dish of the Anglo traditional people, and
When
one
you
of
say royal, it just brings my mind to the fact that I need to get myself a stool, sit down, and
of
get
course
into
I've
this.
heard about you being called Togbi something something. We'll
Please
talk
say the
about
name.
this.
Say the name well.
Togbi Mojifola Gbanto.
Thank you. Thank you. All
what
right,
does
let's
that
go.
mean,
Let's
by
go
the way?
ahead. Please
Some-
relax. It says the orator of the airwaves, the first.
The first.
Yes, thank you very much. Please let's continue.
Great. So we have Jenkle.
Okay.
Now, Jenkle is a whole meal on its own. It's made out of, some people use roasted corn powder and with crabs, what we call gala.
Ghana.
Ghana, yes. So you know the Anglos are predominantly, should I say, seafood lovers. We hardly eat meat, and
Okay.
so you have a lot of herrings, you have a lot of fish. You know,
What's the history behind that? Would it be location?
Yes,
or-
because we are located near the sea,
Okay,
and so
okay.
everything from the sea is almost edible for us.
Okay.
But you know, in Anglo, we have clans. We have about 15 clans, and so there are some foods that certain clans do not eat. That is like their god, so they don't eat it.
Okay.
But we won't go into that
Yeah,
today.
not today.
But one of the royal dishes of the Anglo traditional area is jenkle. It's prepared on special occasions. So like when there's a festival like Hobachocho, or when there's a funeral of a prominent person. When we were growing up, we didn't used to eat jenkle on a daily basis at home because of the process that you go through in having this dish. So we have your jenkle with gala. We also have the famous
Before you move on to the abobitadi, let me find out. So, you know, Volta region we know is very widespread in geographical area. So, do they also eat jenkle in some of the other places like Oti region and the northern Volta?
I am sure they do. I am sure they do because, like I said, it's a dish that is eaten on special occasions. And so when there's a festival or when we like to dwell in funerals. It's funerals that we showcase our culture and bring out some of the things that our forefathers used to do. So I am sure in the northern part of Ewe they do, but I can only speak categorically for the southern part, which is the Anglo part. Yes.
Okay.
And then we have I'm so excited about the abobitadi because it's aside it being a royal food, it's also a staple. It's something that you come back from the seaside and Efo is hungry and he cannot wait for too long. You need to put something together quickly. But there is a caution about preparing abobitadi. You need to be careful not to have the sand in it because of how it is harvested or gotten from the sea. It comes with a lot of sand. And so you need to be patient and ensure that you take out all the sand when you rinse it. You rinse it with your salt water. You fry it a bit.
So what is abobitadi?
So abobi is the name of the fish. I think it's called herrings.
No,
is it?
no,
Or
that's not
anchovies.
Anchovies. I think
I
they're more
think.
anchovies.
So
It's
anchovies.
for us, it's abobitadi. We're not concerned about
Herrings is
Abobi.
jado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's made from abobi. And the basic thing is how we do our gravies in Ghana. So just some tomatoes, tomato, and then sabala. Sabala is onions.
Yes.
A lot of sabala actually, because in the
That's very
Volta
interesting. So you
region,
say
we
it's similar to the Ghana.
Sabolai, exactly.
Okay.
We grow a lot of sabala, Afro sabala from our parts. So sabala is not something that is scarce at where we come from, the southern side. So we use a lot of sabala. We even have something we call sabala tadi. So we add sabala, we add jado, we add tomato, we add gometakwi. Gometakwi is ginger.
Okay.
And then you do your either your red oil, but in our side we normally use coconut oil for most of the foods that we
So
prepare.
I'm hearing that the vedome people will say Janie. Yeah, which is actually
Like a
interestingly
tree.
similar to tree.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, so you have your nemi or coconut oil,
Okay.
and then your abobitaji. You just fry it in it, and then
you're
you're good
good
to
to
go.
go.
And it normally goes with ewokle, like Yoram just said, because ewokle is faster to cook. It's the dry corn dough. So you just do that quickly, and then food is ready for a food.
Wow.
Then we have the ayikle. That is also not very common,
exciting.
even in
No,
the
at all.
modern Anglo home now.
That's right.
Ayikle is, should I say, the sister of jenkle?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but this has beans. Ayi is beans.
It's beans,
Yes.
okay.
So some people mix the beans with roasted corn or roasted granite. So it depends. That when it comes to cooking, because of modernization, there are a lot of modification. But it's normally with roasted corn because corn is common.
It's a staple.
It's a staple over there. So you cook the ayi and make it a bit soft, and then you prepare the stew just like you do with the jenkle, and then you add roasted corn powder to it. And ayikle sometimes goes with abobitadi.
Okay.
Most often goes
Most
with
often.
abobitadi.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the combinations I
And
must do today.
yes, before you continue, one important thing we should also notice, the ayikle requires coconut juice.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
Oh, I
also
see.
the difference, exactly.
Okay.
So you get your dry coconut,
Yeah.
you grate it, and then you extract the
the water
juice
Oh.
out of, the milk out of.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's coconut milk.
Yes.
Because
Exactly.
Coconut
Okay, so
oil,
it's
coconut
milk.
milk. Yes.
Wow.
So that gives it that unique flavor.
Exactly.
That makes it different from
From
the
the
gentle.
Yeah.
For the gentle, you don't add the coconut milk to it. Some people also add gala to the ayik milk, but
To
for
the,
today,
yeah, to the stew.
yes,
Yeah.
to the stew, and then they take it out. and
Remind
then
me again, which one is the Ghana?
crab.
Ah, okay. The names are plenty.
You know, so today we're just doing ayiklo with abobitadi
Okay, fantastic.
for today. Yes.
Fantastic.
And then
Yes.
we have the ama.
Okay.
Ama in Ewe means leaf. So
Leaf.
leaf.
Okay.
So most of it, all leaves are called ama in some parts of the Anglo traditional area. But like our sister said, we have ademe, we have buma. So
okay.
you can get the specifics, but ama is
Ama.
general. Even kontomri,
Okay.
we call it ama. So you see that this is different from the ademedechi. This is a bit dry.
Okay.
So you don't add water to it, and then you add agushi. Some people add agushi. Agushi is a lemon seed.
It's yes, it's lemon. Yeah, lemon seeds.
Pumpkin.
Is it pumpkin? Pumpkin or
Melon seeds.
melon seeds, right? We call it agushi. So
Not watermelon.
no, not
The other
watermelon.
basic melon. Yeah.
So you add agushi, and then whichever ama that you want to use, you use it, and it's a bit drier, and it normally goes with yakaike.
Okay.
People call it yakayaka. It's
So clarify.
Yakaike.
Yakaike.
Yeah.
Yakaike.
Yes.
Okay.
Or abolo.
Abolo.
Yes. So that's what the ama goes with.
Whilst we're here, I want to give us, in terms of the preparation, what's the difference between the yakaike and the abolo?
Okay. So cassava is a staple in the Anglo parts of Ghana, and so most of our foods has either cassava or corn in it, and cassava is gluten free, and so the yakaike is made out of cassava basically. So you get your cassava, you soak it overnight to remove any toxins that may be in it. You grate it. After grating it, you squeeze it with a cloth, a muslin cloth, or any cloth that you may have to remove the excess water out of it.
Okay.
And that excess water can also be used for starch. Exactly. So
Okay.
after that, then you dry it a bit. I mean, you just let it air a bit for an hour or two.
Okay.
Some people add corn flour to it to make it a bit fluffier. But the typical home people like it with the, the starchy, the heaviness in it like that. And so when you go to the typical village, you will not have them adding the corn flour. But some people do add the corn flour just to make it a bit lighter. And then there's a steaming pot. Okay, where you place water in a bowl. If you have, how do you call the sieve in Ewe?
The sieve, the
chonu. Forgive me. And so when you have your hot water in your gade, then you put the chonu.
Which one is the gabe?
Is your cooking pot.
Okay.
Or your gaza.
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Okay.
Yes. Then you put your dachon on it. Put your muslin cloth or any cloth, clean cloth, on it, and then scoop your yakaike and spread it because it has to be a bit flat. It's the flatness that makes it unique, and it cooks faster because you're using steam. So you pour your yakaike on it, and then you cover it within 5 to 10 minutes.
Wow.
Your yakaike.
So
You
it's
can
steam
add
cooked.
some salt
Yeah.
if you want to.
Okay.
Otherwise,
At
you're
which
good
stage
to
do you
go.
add the salt?
And when you're
Mixing
mixing,
process, okay.
when you're airing it a bit,
Okay.
where you either decide to add the corn flour or not,
Okay.
then you just sprinkle a little bit of salt just for taste in it, and then you're good to go.
Okay.
With the abolo,
Yeah.
it's almost the same process, but people add cornstarch
Okay.
to it.
So abolo is corn
No,
or cassava?
it's cassava.
It's also cassava.
Yes.
Okay.
It's also cassava, same process like the yakaike, but some people add cornstarch to it. Some people add what's it called? I'm lost. But people add cornstarch to it, and some other oh my goodness. It's live TV, so
Yeah,
it's
okay.
fine.
Don't worry.
Please,
Yeah.
me check comes here, but they add a cornstarch to
What did you
it.
just tell them?
I asked them to forgive me. I've lost my thoughts. And then it also goes through the same steaming process, but it's the cornstarch that makes the texture different from the yakaike. Yes. And then we now
Before
have
we continue,
Yes, go
I want
ahead.
to add something to this, very important. With the yakaike, it is ideal for the elderly. Let me put it that way. Why? Because it's supposed to be eaten with care.
Okay.
It chokes
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh, I
You
see.
can actually die.
die.
I mean,
Yes.
from
really?
this,
yes.
Oh,
It
wow.
really chokes. So with kids, it's
What is
really
it
not.
about it though?
Because
Is it
of
the
its dryness and the
Exactly.
fluffiness
Yes.
of it. So and it's very filling. With with just one or two, you're good to go.
Okay.
But it's very a bit discomforting to the throat when you are swallowing. So you need to have the ha or water beside you. Togbi would like to take the ha, not water, which is yakaike. And it's normally so sometimes because of its dryness, people like to take it with soup.
Yeah.
So that it helps with the
That's
transportation.
a good calculation.
Yeah.
That's
But
actually a-
mostly they eat it with agbamatadi,
Yeah.
which is grounded pepper, or abobitadi. Yes.
And I think because it's quick food as well.
It's quick
like
food
fast
also.
food. You
Fast
can
food.
do that really
Fast
quick.
food, yes. You know, our Togbis are very impatient when they come
before-
back.
Yeah, but I can imagine. You know. But I mean, before there was fast food, we had fast food.
We had
Yes,
fast
we had
food.
our own fast
We had
food.
our own fast food.
That's
Yeah.
all. Right. So let's get into some. These look like snacks.
Yes. So these are snacks and delicacies from the region.
Okay.
We have achififi, what you call adunle.
Achififi.
Achififi.
Fifi.
Exactly.
Achififi.
The fi- the air has to come through your exactly.
Achififi. Yeah. All right. So we won't refer to it as adunle here because that's for next week.
Yes. We have
But today is
achififi.
achififi.
Yes.
Right.
Then we have konkada.
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 Yes.
Okay.
It's made out of coconut.
Exactly.
Yes.
Konkada sounds like an English word.
Konkada.
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 Okay.
It's made out of coconut flakes.
Okay.
There's also another version of konkada, but it's made out of granules. So in kati cake.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have the famous agbelika klo,
Yes.
and it goes with
And it goes
coconut.
with coconut. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And then we have starch pono. Pono is biscuits in Ewe. So
Okay.
starch biscuits.
Starch biscuit.
Yes.
it's
So starch
pono.
pono. Yeah. But people call it aigbe biscuits, especially this one, which we are not happy about. It's not aigbe biscuits.
Oh, you don't like it?
No.
Okay.
It is starch pono.
Starch
Pono. Yes.
And just
Okay.
to say, starch is English, so
But-
you have to add the e to it. So starchy
Starchy
pono.
pono.
Starchy pono.
Starchy pono.
Starchy
Ah,
pono.
that's it.
Starchy pono.
That's right.
Okay. Why would you be upset if I refer to it inadvertently as Aibe biscuit?
We are Ava or Avao.
Okay.
We are not Aibe.
Thank you. That's good enough reason. That's good enough reason for me. All right. What else do we have here?
Then we have Joe, the
Joey?
famous Joe.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced Zoe.
So again, mom.
It's pronounced Joey.
Joey.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we have the Molu Joe,
Yeah.
made
We
from
have
rice,
Okay.
a blue.
Molu, or an Ebli, which is corn, or we have the Aji,
Aji.
granite.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So which one is this?
This one
this
is
one
molu.
is Molu.
Yes.
Because Molu is like an event, a festive food in the
Okay.
region. So
Okay.
when you do Molu, Joe is
Joe.
like it's a happy occasion, it's an
Celebrate.
important occasion. It's like the elites who are
So if it's made from molu, you would say molu joe.
Molu
Molu
joey.
joey.
Molu
Yes.
joey.
Yes.
or Ebli Joe. Yes.
Ebli
A
joey.
blue.
Yes,
Yes.
or
Maize. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have the Upper Toffee. Caramel you call it? Yeah, it has been English-sized, caramel, whatever, but it's of a toffee. I wouldn't say Aigbe toffee because we have said
We have
there's nothing
agreed
like
that
Exactly.
nothing like
Aigbe,
that.
so it's of a toffee. So
Ever
sweet-
toffee.
Yes,
Okay.
sweet after meals. Then finally,
Caramel sticks.
okay, we can accept that.
Yeah.
Then we have the ajiplebli,
Okay.
what we call graphic in times. But this is different. This is cooked.
Yeah.
It's not roasted
not
like
roasted.
the ones we see in town. And this also is a very filling snack.
Wait. Okay, so this is corn.
Yes.
This is
Blee.
granules.
Aji.
Aji and a blee.
Yes.
Okay.
Aji. So
Ajibli.
it's been shortened.
To
Instead of
ajibli.
ajiplebli,
Yeah.
we call it ajibli.
Ajibli.
Ajibli. Yes.
Ajibli.
And then
Wait, is this a version of what we call? Okay, so it's a brewing katia, but
Yes, but it's boiled.
But this is
Boiled.
boiled
Yes.
instead of roasted.
Okay.
Yes. So this is ajibli with and always goes with So once you eat this, it's almost like a full meal because it's quite filling because of the fiber in the.
So which one is the graphic and which one is the times?
Should we ask the guys?
should,
Maybe the cheese. I have no idea.
And then the other
Yes.
has the name Abura.
Abura. That's the local. Like
local
if you're
name.
going to the hinterlands, we are the modern. So we call it. But when you go into, if you
Abuda.
see a grown up and you ask, they will call this Abuda.
Amgoda.
Yes.
And then in the olden days,
Yes.
this very Abura snack was shared amongst the kids.
Kids.
Okay.
Why? Because you have a number of kids in a home. You have the elderly asking them to do this chores, do
Yeah.
that. Instead of giving you money,
Yeah.
this is what
is your reward.
they give you. This is your reward. So this time, today they do Abuda, tomorrow they do Ajibli.
Ajibli.
Yeah.
Another time is something else.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, question. So is this prepared just by boiling, or you add things? To
No, it's just by
It's just by
boiling.
boiling,
And
and
you
that's
add
it.
some little salt,
Salt
Yeah.
to taste. And that's it.
to give it a good taste. That's it.
Okay. What drinks do we have here?
So we have liha
Liha.
or aliha,
Aliha.
but it's liha.
Okay.
Liha is how do you call it in Chi?
Asana.
Asana.
Yes.
Asana. Yes. And it's made mostly from
But
corn
Asana cry, is it tree?
or gan.
Maybe
That's
it's Ghana.
that's gone, right?
I think it's Ghana.
It's gone,
It's
yes.
gone.
That's Sana, it's gone, yeah.
so-
I think so.
So liha is
Liha.
made from corn, roasted corn that is dried. It's a long process. It's cooked,
It's a very long
fermented, covered, cooked, and cooked for
But is
about
it the
5
same
hours.
process as what we know as Asana?
There's a slight
Oh, there's
difference.
a slight
There's a slight
difference,
difference. So this is just purely corn.
Exactly.
Nothing else. Once it's soaked in water for some time,
Yeah.
you put it in the kotoku
Okay.
sack,
Yes.
the corn sack, not the fiber one,
The
the juice one, yes,
juice
juice
one,
bag.
yeah.
So we call it kotoku, and you don't dry it in the sun in the beginning. You dry it with where there's a bit of a shade, and you put another of the kotoku on it
top of it, yeah.
for about a day or two until it starts to sprout a bit. Right.
I see.
So when it starts to sprout, all of them have to sprout. And once it starts to sprout, then you fry it.
Okay.
And so you realize that the green sprouts now become brownish. That's what gives it the brown color. And so once you fry that, then you pour it into the water and you boil. Now, one thing with liha is that for us, we don't like to add too much water
Okay.
to it. And also, whatever you're
So it's
using,
more concentrated.
yes,
Okay.
whatever you're using to cook the liha must not have water on it. So, for example, if it's this ladle
Yeah.
you're using to stir, we say echimaganomu.
Okay. Which means?
It shouldn't have water.
Should be
Okay.
dry.
So if someone says chimatwe, it means it's pure without water in
okay.
it. Yes. And so whatever instrument you're using for the cooking, shimagatu.
Okay.
So it's a lot for you to take, huh?
No, well, not really. I'm just wondering, maybe, okay, so listen, the road to Volta region is through Tema and Sugar Cookery.
There are two.
Depends on where you're going. Yeah.
Which side are you recommending?
Let's
I should go?
use
Because
the Sugar
I'm now
Cookery.
considering,
Moving there.
I'm considering.
No problem. Once Mama is
I'm
here and
considering.
Togbi is here, it's a done deal.
Oh, hello.
Ete is here, Nadia is here. You don't have a problem. Yes, and
Okay.
so that's how liha is done. And you have to cook it for long, almost 5 to 6 hours of cooking time to ensure that it is properly cooked and doesn't give any stomach abscess. And then
The anglos, we don't have it too brown.
Okay.
So when you look at what we have in the market, you compare to this, you realize
lighter.
lighter.
exactly
Yes,
it's lighter.
lighter.
Okay.
You know.
How
And then
do
it
you-
ferments
how do-
very quickly.
How do you prevent it from getting too brown?
It's the
I
cooking.
think it's a cooking
The
process.
cooking.
It's the cooking process because some people add sugar,
Yes.
some people add honey.
Okay.
Yes, naturally we would add honey to it, but some people fry the sugar,
Oh,
so
I
that's
see.
when it becomes
Of course, you're gonna get
caramel.
molasses
Yes,
and
then
all those
exactly.
things from that.
But we don't fry
Okay.
the sugar, so you add honey. Or a bit of sugar to taste. Our forefathers didn't like a lot of sugar, so
Yeah.
the typical
They knew
liha,
what was good.
you won't find too much sugar in it.
And
yes.
it ferments very quickly
Yes.
and easily.
Yes.
So what we did is, we had this prepared about 2 days ago.
ago.
Yes. So we never added sugar until we
Until
got
this
here.
morning.
Ah,
Exactly.
Okay,
Because
because
it
the sugar is
quickens
what
the
will feed the fermentation
Yes,
process.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
so that's
Okay.
it. Okay. Then we come to the famous Daha palm wine.
Oh, hello. Yes.
That is also another tedious process. The best palm wine comes from the Volta region. I mean, you
Yes.
can argue with yourself.
Absolutely.
I'm actually arguing with myself right now because I was going to say the best palm wine comes from the Ebri
No,
Mountains.
no. The best palm wine comes from the Volta region.
Okay.
And the process that the tappers go through to get this product,
Yeah.
we need to salute every palm wine
Really?
tapper out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
True, it's
I thought it was a simple process of piping a hole, boring a hole into the side of the tree.
Marakamaga blow.
Okay, what the way you say? What is the tedious process?
This can take months.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
it can take months. The palm tree is felled most of the time, but sometimes it is not.
Okay.
Once it is felled, there is an intricate way the farmer needs to, cut out the branches of the palm tree, bit by bit with skill until he gets into the core. Then he needs to make a specialized hole in the core with a specialized tool.
Okay.
And then set it on fire, fan
Wow.
it. So sometimes it takes months
Yeah.
to get even just a gallon of palm wine. And so that is also one of the royal drinks in the Anglo traditional area because of the time
Yeah.
and energy and effort that is put into tapping it. Yes, so it's one of the delicacies. When you visit an Anglo home, it's one of the things that you will be served with.
Yeah.
And it's normally taken fresh. Yes, we don't like palm wine that has fermented. Because when it keeps fermenting, then it becomes akpeteshi. Akpeteshi is also one of the
Totally different.
important drinks in the Volta region. Afo really likes his akpeteshi.
Okay.
Yes. And so akpeteshi thought goes before any akpla or
Okay,
yakaike. Yes.
So now that we know this is one of the royal drinks, and this is not fermented.
No. It's fresh.
Fresh.
It's fresh. Yes.
Deha.
The ha
Okay. So please, can I have a cup of deha?
of the ha.
And then I'm going to get into one of the dishes.
Sure. So
Oh,
the ha
yes.
is normally served with a thra.
A third.
A thra. Yes.
thra.
That's it. So
That's
Today-
calabash.
Today my vocabulary is expanding by force. Okay. Yeah. At this juncture, many of the people working on the floor are
eyeing
wishing
you.
they were me.
good. So it
This
has
is good stuff.
a little bit of alcohol when it's fresh.
It's a slight
It's a
bite.
slight bite of alcohol
But I love it.
in it. Yes.
I love
It is when it ferments that you can actually taste the
Exactly.
alcohol in it.
And the women would prefer to take it when it's fresh
When it's
because of the
fresh.
sweetness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It has
But
that.
once
But
it
this is
ferments,
really good.
I mean,
really nice.
the guys would
That's when
manage
you
You
to.
guys will love
Okay,
it.
so
Yes.
remind us which one is this one?
Amadechi.
Amadechi.
Yes.
And it goes with. Is it complete as it is?
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
Okay.
It is. Actually,
Well,
vegetarians
we're gonna
could
do
even eat it as a whole meal because it
Okay.
has the green leaves in it. It has the agushi. It has the fish,
Fish, yeah.
in it. So you have your proteins in there. The agushi has a bit
Yeah.
of fiber
Yeah.
in it. So
And then-
someone can eat it. Vegetarians normally eat it as a whole meal.
Okay.
Yes. But you can
So-
eat it with your yakaike or with your abolo or even with your amokolo. Yes.
Okay.
Amokolo.
So, can I have a little bit of amokule
Okay.
and
Amadechi.
amadechi?
Good to go.
This is incredible. You guys need to be here. Jiva, are you going to come and join us on the set to see what's happening here? Or a little later?
So do it in both.
So these meals are normally eating with the hand.
This looks so heavenly.
So you would have to eat it with your hand as Togbi.
Okay.
So would you prefer with abolo, amokla? Okay.
Okay.
So
So we have some wele also in here.
Can we get
Wow.
some coffee?
You get some water to wash your hand,
Yes, please.
and we do justice. Yes.
But you haven't added the.
I told you taste everything.
No, I
Or
want some of the.
one of them.
Amok.
Yes, so she's getting that for you.
this is your amokla.
Okay.
Okay.
You get a hand.
Man. I thank God for this
Beat
day.
your chest.
No, I thank God for this day.
So
I
let
am
me just
totally
make a
available.
clarification
Yes, please.
about the amoklum.
Let's-
We have what we call the bake.
Yes.
Okay. Bake is when you mix the cassava dough with the dry corn dough.
Okay.
Yes.
Cornmeal.
Cassava
Corn,
dough
yes.
with the dry corn.
Corn, powdered corn.
yeah.
Yes. So you take maybe one portion of the cassava dough and maybe 2.5 or 3 portions
Okay.
of the corn dough or the corn flour.
Yeah.
Okay, and you mix that together before you cook your akara. But in some homes, when they do the mixture, we have what we call agbaje,
Agbaje.
wooden sieve.
Okay.
And then you know sieve
Sieve,
the mixture
okay.
to remove any sticks that may
Okay.
be in the cassava dough out of it. So that mixture is now put into a container and allowed to ferment
Okay.
a day or
Okay.
2
Okay.
before you cook it,
Okay.
and that's the bake.
Back.
There are other people who soak the and grind it.
Okay.
A typical Anglo
Will
woman
not-
will fail you if you do that. But there are other, tribes that do that, and that's fine.
Okay.
But Angloga and Shongbe, where I come from, and Achiavi,
And click off.
Ekliko. My God, you dare not do that. So bake is the way to go
All right,
for
so-
us.
And oh, hello.
Oh,
Jiva.
she
you brought
came
the water.
ready.
You came prepped.
She came ready.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So,
Sorry,
nikatanie for Mamaga Jifa
So we should ask Jifa.
Jifa, madakukunuka dugranala.
No, you know what, Jifa, just whisper to me and then I'll translate. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
this
Okay, so me, I'm getting started, man.
So what are you eating now?
This is amadechi
Yes,
and bake. Is that correct?
perfect.
Thank you.
You're on the road to the Volta
I'm on the
already.
road. I'm going.
We'll do this from Kita next time.
Charlie, this is incredible.
Does she have
Wow.
Really?
And they have,
These are
I'll
her
just start with my appetizer while we But as you are watching as viewers, you want to know
Yeah.
what you are enjoying at home, what lovely ever meals you love to enjoy. Use the hashtag breakfast daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-5858 for us to hear from you. We are celebrating
Absolutely.
ever food today.
Yes.
All things.
Look,
How is it going? What are you tasting?
it's going incredibly well. Listen, you know what? We need to just shut this show down and actually eat. Yeah. This is incredible.
Okay, so we have here Aikman Viada and Jampla Viada Flambobi.
For the sake of the non-ever, what do we have in there?
So for the sake of the non-evers, we have Aikman, and then we have Jampla, and we have Amobitati. Aikla is made, like I said earlier, from beans,
Black eyed beans.
black
You get
eyed
your
beans.
protein in
Your
there.
protein in there, and then a bit of corn flour. Jankla also has a bit of corn flour and granules
Wow.
with it, and then Abobi, unfortunately. Yes, so Mama So Mama Maduanu na dudopo, meaning that royals do not eat in the open.
Oh.
So, but for the sake of the show, Mama will just take a bite
And
for us
just for the
to know if it's good or not. Then she will go into confinement and eat.
What about fake royals?
Well,
In the meantime, we just.
Are royals allowed to eat agbada in public?
no, so royals don't eat in
anything.
public at
No.
all. Yes, don't eat in public at all.
Why is that?
It's a tradition.
tradition.
That's, I mean,
It's a
I think there's a
some
lot of
laws
places
that-
where they basically say that, you know, it's like the way you're eating, you should be able to be in your privacy and eat freely. But sometimes it's like, oh, look at that elderly man, look at that chief, look at how he's opening his mouth and he's putting the food, you know. So it's more of maintaining decorum before the people. You know, yeah. If we don't see you eat, we don't have anything to criticize about the way you eat, you know.
So togbi is often served.
Privately.
Privacy, yes.
Now, as we're talking about nutrition, you know, we're dealing with the pandemic, how important is it for us to go back to our local, cultural, authentic meals and the nutrients they give us?
Well, as you can see, most of the ingredients we used are natural ingredients, like the coconut oil, we have the leaves, we have the abobi that gives us the proteins, we have the crabs that gives us the calcium and everything that we need. And fortunately, most of these ingredients can be found here in Accra.
Wow.
Yes, they're found in the markets,
And they're affordable as well.
Agushi,
they are.
wherever they are, Agushi, everything, cassava, is common. And so it's very important that we go back to our roots. Like Riam said, the fetidechi we prepared didn't even have red oil in it. So it's dry fetidechi without palm oil in it. Ademe also is a green leafy soup without palm oil in it. The only oil-based food would probably be abobi, but that we use coconut oil most of the time, or all of the time. Coconut oil is used with the aikla also, coconut milk and coconut oil. So these foods displayed here are highly nutritious. There's the balance. The yakaike gives us the cassava, the carbohydrates that we need. The ademe is even a meal on its own as a full pot, one pot meal. So in this pandemic, we would advocate that avao mi dumia fonduduo, eleva vie, and anaga miavio for lamanas, and anaga corona dolaleya, mialago. So you realize that in the village, when corona came at first, they used to say that miavio.
problem.
It's like mialago.
So, Edinam, just to wrap it up for us, just give us a sense of a typical festive day in the village. The full spread is being done. Does it look like this?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you would have the ayikla, you have the jenkla. I mean, for my family, for example, we entertain, you know, quite a bit. And when we do that, this is a typical spread. But also to point out that in terms of the different foods, we tend to use everything. So for example, if we took cassava, we'll get our gari from it, get our starch from it, get our agbelika clove from it, the starchy pono from it. You know, so we use the entire thing. We use all of it. We don't waste anything. I mean, you get your vitamin A from your deme. And then also to point out, we don't cook with a lot of spices. Our spices are very basic. We use good old garlic, the local garlic. We like shallots because we grow them. Sabala. We like ginger and onions. So
this
you don't.
vegetarian and vegan people, they have a lot to learn from us.
Yes. So we don't cook.
We've been doing it already.
We
we've
cook
been doing it
with
already.
like very simple, basic spices. We cook with what we've got. So we don't go out buy and cubes are foreign to the culture. Yes. So everything is very wholesome. And a typical of a family. We don't buy food outside. That's a typical of a family.
And one thing, you do not reject food offered to you when you go to an Anglo home.
Can we have a moment to acknowledge who made all this meal? Because it's delicious. I want to enjoy this. We need to tell them where to get this meal.
Courtesy of Yam and myself.
Wow.
And then the whole setup was
Every woman
sponsored
can cook.
by Nyonyo Essentials. And so
Wow.
she gave us the gaza and the tre and everything you see.
Jesus
But
Christ.
Yam and
Thank
myself.
you.
So
Thank you.
shout out to Yam and
all of us.
Selassie's family.
Since
Yes.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
So, like I was saying, let me
Yeah.
add one more thing. You do not reject food offered to you when you go to an Anglo home. Shout outs to my mother, the Lagbani. She will stuff it down your throat because of the effort
That's put
that
into
is
it.
put
Of course.
into it.
Of
Yes.
course,
So when
yeah.
you visit an Anglo family and they give you, they won't even ask you.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
are
normally
bringing
they
it.
would ask you, "Oh, what would you like to have?" No. In Anglo
just
home,
added
you're
to
just
the-
served,
Yeah.
and you don't say no. It's a big disrespect.
Well, there's no reason to say no
Take some
when I see
contact.
it.
I'll give us the ones I want that if they
A
want
big
to.
thank you to Nyonyo
amazing.
for helping us with the setup. And yes,
Selassie,
thank you to
you
my
have
mom.
Edina. Thank you all for really helping us appreciate the
Absolutely.
You all look beautiful.
I haven't stopped looking at you because you just
All right, so
splendid.
so we really appreciate what you've done for us today, and thank you very much also for watching this segment. And we do want to hear from you as well, and all the messages that what your thoughts. We actually haven't received any messages yet.
I'm sure they've sent it, but we've not read them.
So we want to enjoy some music from, is it a Manuel Dance Ensemble?
Manuel Dance Ensemble, but I need my tab brief because I need to shout out my beautiful people who provided my outfit. So if I can get my tablet in here any moment now, I can do that. But go ahead.
Has a song.
Oh, please go for it.
She
Edina.
must
They
believe
just put me on the
and we
spot.
must
Please do it for us.
we
Do it,
must
do it,
dance
do it,
the
do it.
Agbaja. Otherwise, my mother will not welcome me back home. My husband will not welcome me back home. So
Okay, so instead of the Manuel Dance Ensemble, we are going to do the.
Well, Jifa is all dressed.
So
You're
sing.
all dressed.
So sing, let's
Okay,
dance.
so my father writes folk music. You know, Honorable C.K. Don, Good Morning Dad. And Mom, I know they're watching. So this is one of his songs that I managed to learn because the melodies are different as well. So,
Okay.
so it goes like this. You have to help me with the thing.
We will, we will.
But the club, we are not club, we are dancing.
And Atina Beats, thank you for my beats.
oh, if I listen to them, listen to them beat.
I can clap off rhythm.
Oh no. So like calm down. Let me do the clap.
Okay.
Let me do the clap. Let's get into the song.
Yeah.
So just watch me. Let me do it. That's right. Mahupavya amadaka mawonya lao yekukuga miela toma chiga. Mahupavya amadaka mawonya lao yekukuga miela toma chiga. Meikedia ne jefaro hawe. Ameikedia ne jeizo biwe mahupavya amadaka kama wanya lao. Ye kuku gamia la toma chiga. Odadio.
I
hope I did it justice.
I think you did. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we had Uram Ati, we had Selassie Jikunu, and we had Edinam Bright Davis. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Yes, Jiva.
Atina Beats, contact them 024-03-70812. They brought it all the way from Kumasi.
Wow.
And of course, Manti's World by my girl Mantibia. Holding me beautifully.
And you see what I'm wearing, and then of course my I'm not sure what's the Ewe name for this. Tokota. Okay, so that was also provided by Ajwa Yeboah Eje at the Ship House, Abeka Junction.
Thank you guys so much. We have some messages
Yep.
here. Greetings from Sierra Leone. A
Oh, wow.
great
People are watching,
Ghanaian
sir.
culture and food. Very amazing. This is coming from Michael. We wish you could eat it. I think Aram and Selassie will do a little mini thing. And you guys can actually this is crazy delicious.
No, it's not,
Like-
we're not just saying it, it's actually
90%
really
of the time when I was here, I was just stuffing my face. I'm like, please don't talk to me. Let me just enjoy the food.
So Senna Agbato says, this is lovely. Ruth Egler says, great heritage. Alberta Emilia Botre says, Selassie Jikunu, you do all. And Herbert De Gaulle says, nice show, keep it up. All right.
Selassie was on Heritage Caravan last year, so I hope you'll be back this week to give us all the details of the troubles you got into.
Godson Ajifome says, the heart can be compared to crude oil.
That's important.
Yeah, it's like expensive stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Spice something.
Lovely.
There's a message here,
Thank
so
you for all
good
the
morning,
messages.
guys. I'm Bongo, watching you inside Kumasi, and I think today's show has been really, really awesome. If you could taste the food here, you would even take it.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.